This is Al Rhodes, Kingsman Court at the Palace of Penn High School. And tonight, a couple of Al Rhodes disciples square off in a coaching matchup as the Warsaw Tigers visit the Penn Kingsmen on this edition of the 46 Game of the Week. And how you doing, everybody? Alongside Angelo DiCarlo and with Craig Heatherly courtside, it's Chuck Freeby. Great to have you with us for what should be an exciting night of non-conference basketball on TV46. The Warsaw Tigers are on cloud 9 right now, and let's show you why. Friday night in Middlebury, they're down by 1 to the Northridge Raiders. Missed the shot, but look at Carson Gould, top of the screen, come in, get the rebound, put it in, and Warsaw scrambles out of Middlebury with a Northern Lakes Conference win. They are 7-2, and Matt Moore's doing a phenomenal job with this team.
Man, when you win games like that against a team as good as Northridge is, that gives you so much confidence, and this team has been playing out of this world. They've won so many games by close margins, doing it with 4 juniors in the starting lineup, only 1 senior. Very impressive start to the year for the Warsaw Tigers.
But you want to talk about impressive start. How about the Penn Kingsmen? They lose Mr. Basketball. They lose their coach. They lose every one of their starters. The one thing they're not losing, games in 2023, they're 7-2.
Yeah, and they would be 8-1 if they didn't lose just Saturday to Valpo in a very tight game that they almost had beat. So while Warsaw's coming off a big win, Penn coming off a difficult loss, but really they've played great basketball. They have leadership. They have seniors. They have 4 seniors in their starting lineup, but none of which really played last year. So what Barrett Kuhlman has done in his first year has been very, very impressive.
Craig Heatherly joins us courtside. And Craig, I talked about the coaching matchup. You got Barrett Kuhlman of Penn, Matt Moore of Warsaw. Not only did they both coach for Al Rhodes, they come from that Bethel and Grace rivalry. Where do you see the influences on their teams?
Yeah, Chuck, ask any former player, and the greatest influence in their life outside of their parents are going to be teachers and coaches. You know, you learn what you want to implement from people you work alongside of and that you play for, and you also learn the things you don't want to implement. But based on their coaching tree, they've implemented a lot from those individuals that they learned from.
Craig, I will not let you blame Rob Berger for yourself. We look forward to his comments throughout the game. We've got a good one coming up. It's Warsaw and Penn. Our St. Joe County Police Department pregame show and keys to win are next on the 46 Game of the Week.
This is the WHME TV46 High School Basketball Game of the Week. Brought to you by Bill's Heating, Health Markets, Tony Letcher, St. Joseph County Police Department, Tire Rack, HealthLink, Raising Cane's, Crown Trophy, API St. Andrews Products, Imagineering Finishing Technologies, and the IHSAA.
And this edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you by the St. Joseph County Police Department. Join the team and help protect and serve our community. We welcome you back inside the Palace for our St. Joe County Police Department pregame show as we give you the keys to win for tonight's game. We'll start with the Warsaw Tigers. They're led in scoring by 6'3" junior Luke Bricker, who hardly lives up to his last name when it comes to scoring. He's getting about 18 points and 4 rebounds per game. He's had 9 games in double figures this season. And he'll get plenty of help from his buddy Brant Martin. Also a junior, 6'3", averaging about 15 points a game. He's had 8 games in double figures this year, including a career-high 25 against Huntington North. The keys to win for Matt Moore and the Tigers.
Defending the drive without fouling is a big key. Rebounding the first miss, that can lead to game winners, as we saw they did against Northridge on Friday night. And transition pace, they want to set up those easy scores. Here's Matt Moore in his 10th season as a head coach, his 4th at Warsaw, and his team's play through 9 games.
I think we're trending in the right way. I think our guys are competing at a high level. I think we've had really good weeks of practice. We've stacked those days together, and we've been able to now see that in outcomes of games as well. So I like kind of where we're at in the middle of the season right now. We're healthy, we're playing well, and I think we have a lot of confidence.
Penn relies on a nice outside-inside combination. The outside part comes from Trey Miller. The 6'4" senior is a 50% three-point shooter this year, and that's why he's averaging almost 14 points and 4 rebounds a game. He's really worked on his offensive rebound, trying to bounce back from a season-low 6 against Valpo Saturday night. Then inside, he's just a bull in a china shop down there. Maverick Brown, 6'1" senior, brings a linebacker's mentality from football into basketball, where he averages 14 points and 8 rebounds a game. Excellent touch around the basket, leads the team in steals as well. The keys to win for Barrett Kuhlman and the Kingsmen.
They got to reduce the turnovers, averaging about 15 a game, so a little bit more than Coach Kuhlman would like. Better shot selection is a key, and they got to show strength on defense and boxing out. Barrett Kuhlman in his first season at Penn on how he and his team have gelled together in just that first season and are here at 7-2.
Some of it's just the mentorship of Coach Rhodes and spending a lot of time even prior to the season getting going to figure it out what their strengths and weaknesses, and then meeting with the players and setting up and saying, hey, this is where I see you, this is your goal, this is kind of your role for the team and what we need you to do. And to credit to these guys, they've accepted my coaching with the help of Coach Smith, who's been there for, he's been my varsity assistant at Northrop for 7 years, and then has been here for the last 6. So he's been the huge go-between in the gap fill to kind of help instantly give me some credibility with them, because they already trust him. And so they've trusted me. They've done to the best of their ability to fulfill the role that we saw fits best for them, and it's helped with some early success.
A pair of the bigger schools in the area. Sectional rivals, both 7-2, and they square off next. It's Warsaw and Penn. That's been our St. Joe County Police Department pregame show. The starting lineups and opening tip from the Palace are next on 46.
safety. Their courage and efforts are very much appreciated, and we hope to receive good return from all of our military forces. We honor all who have served, and ask now for a moment of silence for the brave soldiers who have made ultimate sacrifice for our country. Thank you. Now, please be singing is the Warsaw Penn under the direction of Mr. DJ Leno of Our America with the playing of our national anthem.
And this edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Tire Rack. TireRack.com is the way tire buying should be. No, they didn't have a power failure here at the Palace. The lights are out as they play the introductory video, but we're going to go ahead with the starting lineups for tonight's game. Here's Angelo DiCarlo.
All right, for the Warsaw Tigers, Luke Bricker, a 6'3" junior, averaging 17.7 points per game. He's second on the team in assists, second in blocks, and first in rebounds. Robbie Finlinson is a 6'3" junior forward, averaging 10.7 points per game. Brant Martin, a 6'3" junior, second on the team in scoring and shooting 42% from beyond the arc. Carson Gould is a 6-foot junior, a true point guard, 6.2 assists per game. And of course, had the game winner Friday night versus Northridge. And Luke Yeager, a 6'8" senior, averaging 7.2 points and 3.9 rebounds per game. For Penn, Alex Hawthorne is a 6'2" junior guard, averaging 4.2 points per game. He's also a great defender. Dominic Bonner, a 6'3" senior, averaging 10.4 points and 3.8 assists per game. Trey Miller, 6'4" senior, 13.7 points, but just had 6 points in Saturday's loss against Valpo. Maverick Brown, a 6'1" senior forward, averaging 13.6 points, 7.6 rebounds, and as Chuck mentioned, he leads the team in stealers. And Nolan McCullough, a 6'3" senior forward, 4 points and 6.3 rebounds per game. And he is our 46 Student Athlete of the Week, along with Carson Gould. We'll hear from them coming up at halftime, presented by Tony Letcher of Health Markets.
The series history goes back to 1965. Warsaw leads the all-time series 13-9, but Penn has been on a streak as of late, including a 50-40 win down in Warsaw last year on January 10th. Just about ready to jump it up. Warsaw in the black, Penn in the white. Dominic Bonner for Penn will jump it up against big 6'8" Luke Yeager. And we are ready for this one. Glad you could join us here on TV46. Warsaw wins the opening tip. They go right down the court to Luke Bricker, who kicks it outside. The Tigers are 7-2 on the year. As we told you, they won their last time out against Northridge by 1 point. They have wins over teams like Columbia City, Homestead, and Huntington North. Lost to Fort Wayne North and Wawasee, then got back on track with wins over Washington, Carroll, Harrison, and Northridge. Tigers working the ball around the perimeter against this defensive Penn. They try to go down low to Brant Martin, and he'll bunny up for the shot and put it in. Martin, who averages 15 a game, caps a very patient Tiger possession to give him a 2-0 lead. At the other end, Dominic Bonner outside for the Kingsmen. Down to Nolan McCullough, outside Maverick Brown for 3. Couldn't get it, but Trey Miller with an offensive rebound, and Carson Gould tied him up. Alternating possession will go to Penn.
While Warsaw took their time, Penn was a little bit quicker on their chance. Had a good look at it. Wasn't a bad shot by any means, just didn't go down.
Barrett Coleman's Kingsmen are 7-2 on the year, open strong with wins over Carroll, Clay, Crown Point, and New Prairie. And they get the inbound pass to Nolan McCullough, who puts it in. And the All-NIC quarterback knots the game at 2. Gould, as Anj mentioned, true point guard. His brother Jackson, one of the top players on this team a year ago. Brant Martin down in the corner with Maverick Brown right in his grill. Robbie Finlinson outside using that left hand. Here's Martin down the lane. Good feed to Yeager for 2.
Beautiful job there by Warsaw. Martin, great pass inside for the bucket.
And Warsaw showing adept knowledge of how to work their half-court offense. Penn spreading out, getting some spacing against this Warsaw sagging man-to-man defense. Trey Miller up top. Couldn't get a step on his man. Now Brown bullies his way into the lane, kicks it out to Bonner for 3. Brown with an offensive rebound, blocked by Yeager. Still loose on the floor, and the scrum goes to Brown.
Wow, how do you escape that?
Penn dominating the offensive glass, but unable to hit the shot there with Alex Hawthorne. So 3 misses that time by the Kingsmen. Warsaw kicks it back outside to Finlinson. Gets a screen from Yeager. Finlinson takes the wing jumper and hits, and the Tigers are a perfect 3 for 3. And Barrett Coleman wants a timeout. We'll take it as well. 5:26 to go first quarter. Warsaw has jumped out to a 6-2 lead on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week is being brought to you in part by Raising Cane's craveable chicken finger meals. One love.
Howard Hardware Plus is proud to support the Kingsmen and has been Osceola's favorite local hardware store for nearly a century, featuring a wide selection of products and customer service experts. Hardware Plus, where service begins with the words, "How can I help?" and a handshake.
Penn Pep Band entertaining the crowd as you meet our officials for tonight's game. Ryan Eakins, Lance Ringler, and Zach Sliwa working this one. And as always, the IHSAA looking for more men and women to join the ranks of officials in really every sport. Contact your local officials association here in the area. It's Jimmy Arnett with the St. Joe Valley Officials Association. Maverick Brown with the reverse layup. Yeager altered the shot and then got the rebound. It's a bit of a height mismatch tonight for Maverick Brown. He is 6'1", and Luke Yeager at 6'8". And Yeager working down low on Nolan McCullough. Gets double teamed, powers up, couldn't hit that one. And Brown was persistent, got the ball away for the rebound. Brown underneath. Trey Miller for three. Couldn't get that one. Gould with the rebound for Warsaw. Penn 0 for 3 from three-point range. Finlinson misses, but look at Yeager use that 6'8" frame. Couldn't hit that one, but fouled on that exchange.
Definite height advantage. The positive for Penn is they got a bunch of football players with those big bodies trying to match up against him, but man, that difference in height allowing those second chance efforts here for Warsaw.
Why, one of the keys to the game for Barrett Kuhlman tonight was to try to show strength on defense with boxing out. They have some strong players. Get in the weight room. They've got terrific depth. The one thing this Penn team doesn't have an abundance of is height. Their biggest player is 6'6", but their biggest one, the starting lineup, 6'4". Nice move by Brant Martin, but McCullough was able to block the shot. And Penn comes the other way. Bonner. McCullough up strong for two. And Nolan McCullough, who only averages 4 points a game, already has all four for the Kingsmen. Bricker down low to Yeager. That was easy money.
McCullough doing his best to try to trying to prevent him from getting the ball, and then slips in the process because of Yeager's size.
And McCullough 6'3", giving up 5 inches in that matchup. Thought about the shot. Yeager came out glowering at him, and Nolan didn't take it. So Bonner will lift a three and miss. 0 for 4 from three-point range. Finlinson sets up the offense with Bricker from the corner. That's always a pretty good guy to have shoot it. Luke Bricker tends to play well on TV46. Gets his 15th three of the year right there. And Warsaw has its biggest lead at 7. Bonner will set it up against this Warsaw defense.
Both teams going to make some substitutions at the next stoppage.
Down in the corner, Brown. Penn trying to take the lid off the basket from three-point range. They've had good looks, just haven't been able to convert them. Down low, and Yeager blocks another shot.
Well, it was a good look. It looked like he had a move and a path to the basket, and then Yeager's size comes over the top and gets the block.
So Josh Bedient will come in for Penn as you get another look on the 46 Sports replay. And Yeager just swatting shots tonight. That's his second rejection already. Meanwhile, Drew Sullivan checks into the game along with Meidenberger for Warsaw. And Penn will go to the bench one more time. This is Ethan Good, a 5'10 junior coming in for Bonner. And we'll also see Casey Finn, a 6'3 senior who is committed to play baseball at Adrian, come into the game. So wholesale substitutions on both sides with 2:29 to go in the first. Brown with a nice leaping grab. He's used to catching passes against Warsaw. He had an interception return for a touchdown against the Tigers this year. And Good will set up shop. Finn on the outside. Now Bedient. Good looking for Brown, who's working hard down on the block. Brown likes this matchup with Sullivan, but kicks it back outside. With Yeager on the bench now for Warsaw, let's see if the Kingsmen try to go down low a little bit more here. Nope, Finn's gonna pop a three and hit. First three of the night for the Kingsmen comes from Casey Finn, who's only averaging 1.5 points a game.
Well, they needed that shot because the inside's been bottled up whether or not Yeager's been in the game or not.
Brown with a rebound of the step back miss by Bricker.
Penn showed a lot of patience on that last possession. We'll see what happens here, but still not really able to get the ball inside much of anything.
Nice move by Good. Couldn't pull up for the jumper, though. And Bedient will try to reset it for the Kingsmen. Brown works inside with the left hand, up strong, couldn't hit. Bedient with the tip. John Bedient, the good offensive rebounder, lives up to the billing there. And the Kingsmen scratch back to within 2.
Penn currently has the height advantage, despite with Yeager out and Bedient in the game. Now it's Penn with the height advantage, and they take advantage there with the putback.
And it looks as though Matt Moore might want to hold for the last shot of the quarter here.
Circle M Spring in Warsaw's complete CNC facility, providing orthopedic components and springs to military, aerospace, and many other industries. Circle M Spring has the machining capabilities to handle your next project.
Berger took a 3 that the Warsaw bench did not like. And that's an understatement based on the reaction of the coaching staff. So now Penn can hold for the last shot and maybe get a tie or even take the lead. Miller down the lane. Hits the mid-range jumper, and we're all knotted up. Trey Miller's first basket. This would not have counted even if it had gone in. And so Warsaw jumped out to an 11-4 lead thanks to the big fellow Luke Yeager. But Penn was able to chisel its way back as the quarter went on. And the Kingsmen knotted up at 11 as we go to the second on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Bill's Heating, keeping families and businesses comfortable since 1951. Time now for a Bill's Heating sideline report. Craig Heatherly, interesting yin and yang to that first quarter as it went on.
Yeah, I want to just shine a light on both teams on the defensive side. They've been extremely disciplined and sticking to their principles. Now what's happening against Penn is that Carson Gold is not allowing Miller to catch the basketball, which is disrupting Penn's offense. So Coach Coleman's got to figure out a way to get more ball movement, more player movement to open up more opportunities. But they've done a nice job on the offensive glass to get extra possessions.
How has Penn's defense disrupted Warsaw, Craig? How has Penn's defense disrupted Warsaw?
Yeah, they're heavy in their gaps, meaning when the ball's on one side of the floor, the defenders on the weak side are straddling the middle of the floor, basically putting 5 defenders on that side of the floor. So they're closing up what we say they're plugging gaps,
sure,
keeping the ball from dribble penetration.
All right, thank you, Craig. 11-11 as we start the second. Luke Bricker in trouble, finds Meidenberger.
Yeager still on the bench for Warsaw here as we start the second quarter. Really, Penn rallied when he went to the bench.
Here's Bricker putting the ball on the baseline, kicking it back outside, but he charged. Casey Finn came over to take the charge beautifully that time.
Barnaby's Pizza on Grape Road on Cleveland Road and Twin Branch, where you'll always find delicious pizza and a relaxed family atmosphere. Order online at MishawakaBarnabys.com. Thank you, Barnaby's Pizza in Twin Branch, for feeding the production crew great pizza.
So now Penn trying to extend the 7-0 run. John Bedient on the outside. They whip the ball around. Finn drives the baseline, and he was pushed out of bounds by Bricker, and that's quickly the second on the leading scorer for the Tigers, Luke Bricker. And immediately, Brant Martin will check in back into the game for Warsaw to take Bricker's spot.
This game's health tip brought to you by HealthLink. Quality health insurance is linked to a healthier life. If you or someone you know needs help navigating the world of health insurance, HealthLink can help. Navigators can assist with enrolling in Marketplace, Medicare, and Medicaid health insurance health coverage at no cost to you. HealthLink offers medical, dental, vision, and more.
Bedient, another offensive rebound. John Bedient, and boy, the Penn bench is really delivering on this 9-0 run for the Kingsmen. Martin from the deep corner. Brant Martin now with 5. That's his 12th 3 of the year. He's a 42% shooter from outside the arc. Tigers finally ending that 9-0 run. Peyton Miamba, the talented freshman, couldn't hang on, but Ethan Good for 3. And we've got a push-off foul called underneath on Miamba.
Yeager going to check back in for Warsaw here. That 3 for Martin was their first point since Yeager had gone to the bench.
As we said, snapped a 9-0 run. So now let's see how things swing with Yeager coming back into the game. Ambedient, the 6'6" bench player, a junior, will match up with Yeager, and man, they're crashing down in the paint.
Battle of the big 25s inside.
Nice backdoor cut by Martin. He goes up strong for 2.
Martin now with 7 in the game, 5 here in the second.
Warsaw shooting the ball well tonight. 7 for 14. Miamba for 3. The freshman delivers. His 6th three-pointer of the year. He's shooting 50% beyond the arc. And believe you me, with what's coming through the Penn system, they are going to be well loaded for the next couple of years. Nice spin move inside, but Sullivan couldn't finish, and Miamba gets the rebound.
And Penn shooting really good ever since they've gone to the bench, Chuck, because early on it was not very strong.
Miamba couldn't hit that one, and Drew Sullivan comes away with the carom. Now Martin for 3, and the team's starting to loosen up from outside the arc. Martin having a strong first half with 10. That's his 9th game in double figures this season. Good down in the corner. Bedient trying to post up. Sullivan guarding him right now. Miamba gets the attention of Yeager. And Miamba and Yeager collide, and it's a blocking foul, but it's not on Yeager. It's on the help defender, Sullivan.
Floor Coverings International Michiana salutes the Kingsmen. Whether you're looking for tile, carpet, hardware, or luxury vinyl, they can help transform your home into your dream home. Visit michiana.floorcoveringsinternational.com.
The starters come back in for Penn, but the bench players getting a well-deserved hand from the crowd. They really brought Penn back to life in the later stages of that first quarter. Dominic Bonner to trigger the inbound. Miamba, the lone bench player out there right now for the Kingsmen. Here's McCullough spinning when it wouldn't go, and Yeager with the rebound. Warsaw trying to expand a 3-point lead, nearing the midpoint of quarter number 2. Martin couldn't hang on to the pass. Miamba takes it away. Here's Bonner with a slashing move, and he was fouled by Finlayson.
Imagineering Finishing Technologies in South Bend is globally known as the knowledge source for metal finishing solutions. Like the teams in this game, Imagineering is always working toward a great finish. Thank you, Imagineering, for your continued support of high school sports on TV46.
Interesting move by Matt Moore here. He brings Luke Bricker back into the game with 2 fouls and 4.5 minutes to go in the first half.
That is interesting because obviously since Yeager has been back in the game, they've been playing well and they've regained the lead. You don't want Bricker to get that 3rd foul, but we'll see if the heady junior, who's a multi-year starter, can play like an upperclassman here in the final 4 minutes and avoid that 3rd foul.
Maverick Brown trying to drive under Yeager, couldn't score, and it's tipped around to Bricker.
Every shot attempt for Maverick Brown has been a difficult one.
But he is averaging 14 points a game coming in, and he is yet to get on the scoreboard here in this one, mainly because of the defense of Luke Yeager. Carson Gould drew a little contact and then hit the shot. Gould with his first basket of the night. The 6-foot junior, only averaging 3 a game, but he ups the lead to 5. Trey Miller for 3. That's short. Yeager lost the handle, but Bricker retrieves for the Tigers. And ever since Warsaw brought Yeager back into the game, that defense gets a little bit stronger and has shut down some avenues for Penn to get to the basket.
And also Bedient back to the bench for Penn results in that height advantage growing strong again for Warsaw.
Gould trying to work on Bonner. Ricker looking for his shot, couldn't get it.
Good defense there by Trey Miller, preventing him from really getting to penetrate. And then
Ricker with a nice spin move there. Having to work hard for the basket, but it didn't phase him, and it's back to a 7-point lead for Warsaw. Peyton Miamba on the outside. Kingsman looking to get something happening offensively. Miller, can he warm up? Yes, sir. Trey Miller with a much-needed three, his 25th of the season for the Kingsmen to get them back within 4.
score big in the real estate game with Ashley Smith at Howard Hanna SB Real Estate, your trusted local realtor for over a decade, helping you find your winning home. Call Ashley Smith at 574-276-7068 today for a free home valuation. And as always, go Kingsmen.
Brown forces a turnover there on the held ball situation. And now Meidenberger will come back in for Warsaw and Alex Hawthorne for Penn. We're also going to see Brant Martin return to the lineup, the lead scorer tonight for either team. He comes back in with 10 points on the evening.
Tacoma in Warsaw is a proud supporter of Tigers athletics. Tacoma is now hiring CNC machinists. Apply online at tacoma.com.
4-point difference. Penn trailing, but with the basketball. Brown down in the corner. McCullough. The three is not his game. And Penn showing a lot of patience here.
Being forced into it by that stifling defense from Warsaw.
McCullough going down low to Bonner. He goes with a good head fake, but then Yeager alters the shot and blocks Brown. And Brown will try one more time with a bucket of a bump.
Third time is indeed the charm. Let's look at this again. It looks like this is going to be a wide open shot. Yeager prevents that. Then Brown gets the rebound. Yeager blocks that. He gets the rebound again. And finally, Penn gets its points and the foul.
Maverick Brown about to take the first free throw for either team in this game after the foul is called on Yeager, his first. And Brown, a 71% free throw shooter, committed to play football at Taylor University.
Ben Soft Pretzels have been supporting high school athletics since 2008. They believe that sports are an important part of a well-rounded education, and we're proud to support the next generation of athletes. Find Ben Soft Pretzels at the University Park Mall and at most major Notre Dame athletic events. Have a pretzel day.
Boy, balance has really been the key for the Kingsmen tonight. They have no player with more than 5 points, but they could get the lead on this possession. Bonner couldn't convert. The rebound to Brant Martin. As we go under a minute to go here in the first half. Stolen away by Bonner, and the Kingsmen lead it. He is now the 7th player to score for the Kingsmen here in the first half.
Well, and that was a beautiful steal and the slam to finish it off to give him the lead as Bedian now comes back into the game for Penn. Yeager out of the game for Warsaw, and again, don't want to be repeating myself over and over, Chuck, but when he's in, Warsaw's dominating, and when he's out, Penn's taking the lead.
And nearly another steal by the Kingsmen, but a foul called on Maverick Brown. That's his first, and only the second on Penn in the entire first half. As you look at Barrett Kuhlman there on the Penn sideline, who has coached at Northrop and Valparaiso, has won 6 sectional titles, and just 2 losing seasons in his 16-year career. Final 30 seconds of the first half. What a seesaw battle here at the Palace. Outside Finlandson. Can Warsaw hold for one? No, they can't. Brown with the steal. Ahead to Bedian. 3-point Kingsman lead. Warsaw loses the handle, but another foul is called. I believe this one will be on Alex Hawthorne, his first.
What a weird game. I mean, it is, we talk about games of runs, but this has been the ultimate game of runs.
They call the foul actually on Beatty at his first, but only the third on the Kingsmen. 2.2 seconds left. What does Matt Moore draw up here? They got to get it in. It's stolen by Hawthorne, and the first half comes to an end here at the Palace with Barrett Coleman's Penn Kingsmen leading at 26-23. We go to Craig Heatherly for a Bills Heating sideline report.
Coach, you guys seem to find a rhythm there down the stretch of the second quarter. What was it?
Well, you know, I think they had a good game plan to come out in the triangle and two, and so it took us a little time to get accustomed to that. But our defense is what sparked us. We got a couple stops at the end, got some layups, and that made a big difference. We just settled down and let the game come to us, and that got us get back also.
Yeah, you switched some things up there in the second quarter defensively as well. Are we going to see a little bit more zone?
A lot of it just depends on what they're going to run. There's certain packages that we're going to go to when he goes into certain things he does, and so we'll just keep playing the chess match. That's what makes it so much fun.
Coach, good luck in the second half. Back to you, Chuck.
Thanks, Craig. Penn forced 9 Warsaw turnovers, and this steal and score by Dominic Bonner gave them the lead, 26-23. Kingsmen, our Tony Letcher Health Market student athletes are next on 46. And this edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Imagineering Finishing Technologies. IFT, where quality is a way of life. A wild and wacky first half here at the Palace, where Penn leads Warsaw by a count of 26-23. Chuck Freeby and Angelo DiCarlo high above the fray. We talk about runs in a game. This one had more runs than the Penn baseball game.
10-0 run, 9-0 run for Penn. Warsaw had a 7-0 run, had another one as well in there. It was back and forth, and really it depended on whether or not the bigs were in the game. Luke Yeager was huge, no pun intended, for Warsaw. When he was in the game, they really dominated. When he wasn't, Penn dominated.
And the first half highlights might show you a little bit of that, because early on it was Luke Yeager on the inside being dominant for Warsaw as he got the first couple of buckets. And then once he was established down low, they were able to go outside to Luke Bricker and hit a three and jump out to an 11-4 lead. Penn, desperately needing a basket, went to its bench, and Casey Finn drilled this key three, and all of a sudden the Kingsmen seemed to have a spark. And then Trey Miller with a little mid-range jumper. We were tied at 11 at the end of one. Then John Beatty off the bench. He had 6 big points in the first half, well above his average. Now it's time for Warsaw to go on a run. Grant Martin hits the three. Penn able to answer with Peyton Miamba beyond the arc. And then the Kingsmen really got it going with some defense after a Trey Miller three here. They're able to get the steal and the score from Dominic Bonner as he sends it down with authority. 10-0 run to close the half, and Ange, the big number in the halftime stats, the turnovers. Matt Moore can go to his team and say, "You're killing me, Smalls."
Well, 9-1 is incredible, the difference. And for a while there, it was a high number, and Warsaw was in the lead. And I'm like thinking in my head, how is this possible? It eventually caught up to them. And that was the reason why Penn had those 2 big runs. It was the turnovers. Both the 9-0 run and the 10-0 run were sparked by turnovers that Warsaw had. They have to clean that up, and they got to force some steals as well. The other end, Penn only won in the first half.
So you don't exactly have to be Karnak to figure out what Matt Moore's going to talk about for halftime adjustments, but Craig Heatherly will check in with him when we come back. 26-23, Penn on top of Warsaw. This has been the St. Joe County Police Department halftime report. Third quarter play-by-play from the Palace comes your way next on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by HealthLink, your community health center. Well, we guessed at what Matt Moore might do for halftime adjustments. Let's find out from the man himself, Craig Heatherly, with the Bills Heating Sideline Report.
Yeah, Coach Moore said, Craig, it's real simple. We're playing great defense in the half court. We've got to finish plays. We're giving up way too many offensive rebounds. And then he said it's TCOB. You got to take care of the basketball on the offensive end. It's leading to too many easy baskets in transition, and those are ones you just can't defend.
All right.
It's like you read his mind, Chuck.
We've all been around the game long enough to kind of know what the secret is, and when you see that 9-1 ratio, it doesn't exactly take a brain surgeon.
The Penn Boosters always cheer for the Kingsmen. Last year, the Boosters awarded over $79,000 to various academic clubs and teams. Support the Penn Boosters by following them on Facebook or go to pennboosters.org.
Well, it is Al Rhodes Court here at the Palace, and the man himself is in the arena tonight. And all roads go through Al, because both of these coaches, Barrett Kuhlman at Northrop and Matt Moore when he was at Logansport, were assistants under Al Rhodes. In fact, we've even got Hal Gunter here tonight, who was an assistant for Al back in 1980. And then Steve Lemmy on the Penn bench has been with 6 Kingsmen coaches since 1988.
You know, and when you look at the rosters, you immediately see the influence of Al Rhodes, because both rosters for both of these teams list a G, a W, and a P. Guards, wings, and posts. That's an Al Rhodes thing, and they've continued that. Guards are the ball handlers, the posts are the posts, and the wings are basically
people who aren't guards or posts.
Yeah, everybody else.
Third quarter underway, 26-23 in favor of Penn. Warsaw, Luke Bricker forced one up and got to go. Bricker with 7 points tonight. He averages 18. Back to a 1-point game. Penn had 7 players score in the first half, and the bench was phenomenal. They came up with 12 of the points. Bonner, as they wait patiently on the outside. Triangle and 2. Maverick Brown going in against Luke Yeager. Has to kick it back outside to Bonner. And he'll take the wing jumper and miss. Yeager collects the loose change. Warsaw with a chance to get back in front. Carson Gould, a little stutter step move. Here's Brant Martin, led all scorers with 10 points in that first half. Bricker, though, starting to feel it, and he got shoved around a little bit. And who will the foul be on? I think it's on Maverick Brown. That would be his second.
And you are right about that, Chuck. St. Joseph County Police Department is here to protect and serve our community, and they're looking for more people to join their team. Employment opportunities for high school graduates are available, and they offer outstanding benefits in a true family environment on their team. Learn more at sjcindiana.com/employment.
Bricker again with the right hand, scores. He has 9, and Warsaw is back in front. Jimtown coach Tyler Layton in the house doing some scouting tonight. He's got the Kingsmen coming up on his schedule.
See a couple of his players here. Bishop Williams as well.
Dominic Bonner drains the 3 for the Kingsmen. Bonner now with 5. That's his 5th three-pointer of the year.
And the first points for Penn here in the second half, 2 minutes into the quarter.
Now a steal. Not taking care of the ball, and Hawthorne makes them pay. Alex Hawthorne with his first basket. So make it 8 different Kingsmen who have scored tonight.
And the turnovers continuing to pile up for Warsaw. That's their 10th.
Finlinson working against Trey Miller. Finlinson found the back door open, but Warsaw having trouble hanging on to the ball, and Bricker finally gets that one to land like a hummingbird with sore feet on the rim, and it just dropped through.
11 now for Bricker, 6 here in the third quarter, as all the points for the Tigers in the second half.
Hawthorne, now McCullough. Finlinson really overplaying Hawthorne's right hand, trying to get him to go to his left. Here's Bonner with a 15-footer. That's an air ball. And Hawthorne saves it to Brown. And he's fouled by Yeager.
Time for new tires. Go to TireRack.com and try their easy-to-use tire decision guide to get a personalized tire recommendation. They sell only the best brands backed by test results, consumer ratings, and customer reviews. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
So Maverick Brown at the line, 71% foul shooter on the year, missed the first. As you see, Peyton Miamba check back into the game, taking the place of Nolan McCullough. Brown started the year with a career-high 25-point performance against Fort Wayne Carroll. He's had 6 games in double figures this season. 4 points tonight. Penn back on top by 3. But remember, Warsaw has been through a bevy of close games this year. Gould, mid-range. Wouldn't go. Tipped up and in. I think it was Bricker.
They gave it a Bricker.
Yep, 13 now for him.
I trust in Dwayne Lewandowski.
Good man to trust in. Just good man, period. Here's Bonner from the wing. That one nestles home. So both teams starting to find the range with the shooting after some early woes in this game.
And the one adjustment Penn has made is this is the first time all game where Yeager's been in the game, where Warsaw hasn't really controlled everything.
Here's the thing I've liked from what I've seen offensively, and Craig, you might comment on this, is the fact that as you see Finlinson drive and he'll go to the line for 2, teams have been willing to take the mid-range shot tonight that is often offered to them, but lots of times players don't take it.
Yeah, both teams have taken the mid-range pull-up jump shot, and defensively as a coach, that's what you want to encourage. You want to limit the amount of times the teams get to the basket, shoot the threes, and get to the free throw line. That's the shot you want to give up. But when you go against really good defenses, Chuck, you've got to make those shots because they're given to you.
Robbie Finlinson at the foul line is an 86% free throw shooter this year. He hit the first. As you see a number of substitutions come in. Finlinson also an excellent golfer. He had the best score for the Tigers in the golf sectional this year.
Hardware Plus is proud to support the Kingsmen and has been Osceola's favorite local hardware store for nearly a century, featuring a wide selection of products and customer service experts. Hardware Plus, where service begins with the words, "How can I help?" and a handshake.
Penn with a 1-point lead. The freshman Peyton Miamba on the outside. Down low, knocked away, timeout on the floor. 3:41 to go in the third, and it's Penn by 1 on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Ben's Soft Pretzels, serving our community one pretzel at a time. Penn by 1 with 3:39 to go in the third. And the Kingsmen will inbound underneath their own basket. Inbound pass knocked away by Luke Bricker. And the Kingsmen just switch sides here.
Circle M Spring in Warsaw's complete CNC facility, providing orthopedic components and springs to military, aerospace, and many other industries. Circle M Spring has the machining capabilities to handle your next project.
Down low to John Bedient with 6 points tonight off the bench. Ethan Good surveys the situation. And he'll direct traffic.
Luke Yeager is out of the game now for Warsaw.
Miamba for 3. Couldn't get it to go. Loose ball, and Penn out-hustled Warsaw for the second time this half for an offensive rebound. Bonner will make them, well, not pay. It looked like he was going to hit a layup, but another offensive rebound for Penn gives us a chance to ask our Ben Soft Pretzel trivia question tonight. Warsaw has faced Barrick Coleman at how many different schools? Roger Grossman, the veteran voice of the Tigers, was teasing Barrick that he always sees him in different colors every time he sees him. Penn with a rare turnover tonight, and Gould to Sullivan. Couldn't hit the layup. Bedient knocked it out of bounds.
Just their second turnover of the game for Penn.
So as Penn goes to the bench, let's answer that Ben Soft Pretzel trivia question. We asked you, how many schools has Warsaw faced Barrett Kuhlman at? And the correct answer is 3. He was the head coach at Northrop, Valpo, and Penn, and faced Warsaw at all 3 of those. Finlayson for 3, the iron unkind, and Brown with a rebound.
Both teams going a little cold here all of a sudden after having good shot selection in the first part of this quarter.
Bonner just couldn't get that one to drop either, and Sullivan had to wrestle the rebound away.
Not sure how that one didn't go in.
I'm sure Dominic's saying that about 3 or 4 of his shots tonight. The one he sent in with authority certainly rang home. Here's Brant Martin for 3. That's too strong. Sullivan, good offensive rebound and a better pass to Martin for the lay-in. Martin will get credit with the points, but Sullivan a beautiful assist and a timeout taken. 2:07 to go in the third. Warsaw by a singleton thanks to this beautiful play on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by API St. Andrews, 31 years of success. Coming up Friday night, more high school basketball comes your way from the Northern Lakes Conference. Those fans will be interested in watching Northridge and number 10 Northwood from the Panther Pit. That should be a dandy Friday night, 11, and Saturday morning at 9. And then we're looking forward to a small college big-time matchup over the Wycamp Center Saturday night. Number 1 Grace coming in to take on Steve Draven and the Bethel Pilots. Should be fun. We'll have that one Saturday night at 9 on TV46.
Steve Draven in the house here tonight, doing a little scouting. Well, not scouting. Well, recruiting maybe, perhaps. Taking a look at some of the players on each team.
Double team on Brown, forces him to get rid of it. Brown outside, lobs it cross court to Bonner, and he'll score with the right hand. Dominic Bonner finally gets it to go. He leads Penn in scoring with 9. Kingsman back on top. Now it's Penn's turn with the double team. Both teams making some defensive switches coming out of the timeout. Sullivan down the baseline, couldn't score. Bonner altered the shot, and a nice spin move by Dominic coming the other way. Kicks it to Bedient, blocked by Bricker, a foul called. It'll be on Finlayson.
Great defensive effort there by Warsaw. Was going to be a wide open, easy bucket as we take a look at the 46 replay here. Bonner, nice pass to Bedient. He goes up for the shot, and actually 2 players. Finlayson was there as well to help out with that block, as both him and Bricker were there.
John Bedient, only a 50% foul shooter, misses the first. As you see Luke Yeager come back into the lineup for the final 1:19 of the third.
Barnaby's Pizza on Grape Road on Cleveland Road and Twin Branch, where you'll always find delicious pizza and a relaxed family atmosphere. Order online at MishawakaBarnaby's.com. Thank you, Barnaby's Pizza in Twin Branch, for feeding the production crew great pizza.
Brown hustled down another rebound. I mean, that's 3 boards in this second half that have purely been Penn out hustling Warsaw. And one of the reasons that Kingsmen lead by 1 in this one. Brown outside. Bonner wanted the ball down on the block. Instead, it comes back outside where Brown and Hawthorne hits the 3. Alex Hawthorne with a big 3-pointer. He is 8 of 18 from 3-point range this year as you get another look on the 46 Sports
Top
replay.
of the key, and you can put it on the board.
For the grandson of the Hawk.
Yes.
They move the ball around outside. Warsaw down 4. Martin cross court to Bricker. Bricker has been the hot man here in the third quarter for Warsaw. The double team coming for Gould. He's in trouble. They don't call the timeout. Instead, they go to Bricker for two.
What an excellent play by Warsaw. Gould somehow escaping, and then they turn it into points quickly.
The poise of guys that have played quite a bit. Barrett Kuhlman wants the offense to already get in motion. You see the clock, right-hand corner of the screen. Miller lost the handle. It popcorns around, and the third quarter comes to an end. Oh, this has been a dandy here at the Palace. Dominic Bonner firing threes, and Warsaw had no answers in the turnover department. Alex Hawthorne and the Kingsmen lead it by 2 as we go to the fourth on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Crown Trophy. They're nationally known and locally owned. Craig Heatherly joins us for another Bills Heating courtside report. What stood out to you in the third quarter, Craig?
Yeah, for Penn, it was Bonner's aggressiveness. Being confident, stepping up, taking open shots, also getting to the basket a little bit. Penn's ability to get 50-50 basketballs and get extra possessions. But for Warsaw, Bricker and Martin's ability to move without the basketball makes them very hard to guard in the half court.
It'll be interesting as the fourth quarter goes along, gentlemen, to see if Warsaw becomes a little more aggressive on defense and starts fouling Penn. Penn missed 3 of 4 free throws in the third quarter, and in their last 3 games, they have only hit 59% at the foul line.
And it'll be interesting to see who's in the game here in the fourth quarter, because Penn has relied a lot on their bench throughout this game, who's played really well, and now the starters back in. We'll see how long the starters are in versus whether or not the bench, who's had the hot hand, comes in as well.
Dominic Bonner, as Craig mentioned, had a bit of a hot hand there in the third. Here's McCullough trying to work down low. Now Hawthorne, and Alex Hawthorne with 7. The junior only averaging 4 points a game.
All here in the second half. Gives Penn a 4-point lead here early in the fourth.
Both these teams have lauded the fact that in different wins, it's been different contributors. There's not really somebody that has to be the money man for either team. Gould with a bad pass there.
11th turnover for Warsaw. Absolutely, Chuck, especially when you look at Warsaw. Jackson Gould was the, no doubt about it, go-to guy last year for the Tigers, and now it's been a team atmosphere. Obviously, Bricker is their main guy, but that doesn't mean he's always winning it. Case in point, Friday night, he was the guy going for the final shot, but then it was Gould cleaning it up and getting the game winner against Northridge.
Penn showing some patience here, going through its offense. Miller found an advantage, kicked it back out to Brown. Now Bonner into the paint. Kingsmen have the luxury of the 4-point lead.
And wisely taking their time here. Not going to risk anything, no need to. Good defense here by Warsaw, but
only 2 turnovers for Penn tonight. Make it 3.
Still.
Very good night handling the basketball for the Kingsmen against a good defensive Warsaw team. A whistle and a timeout called by the Kingsmen will take it as well. 6:13 to go in regulation. Penn by 4 on 46. Friends, this edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you by the Indiana High School Athletic Association, keeping education in front of athletics. So let's give you a little education right now, because this Warsaw team very used to playing in these close games. 7 of Warsaw's 9 games have been decided by 6 points or less.
That's really unbelievable, and the fact that they've they're sitting here at 7-2 when they start 4 juniors is very impressive for Matt Moore's squad. By the way, this fourth quarter brought to you by Pregame. Thanks to those folks down in Warsaw for sponsoring the fourth quarter here tonight.
You see the Penn Pep Band that's been entertaining the fans tonight. Excellent jump rope squad at halftime. They put a lot of effort into the games here at Penn, and they got a team that's worth coming out and watching. They scratch and claw, and a lot of different people contribute on this Penn squad.
Not many can figure out a way of drowning out me, but the Penn Pep Band certainly can. They can also cause me to get tongue twisted when I talk about them. This game's health tip is brought to you by HealthLink. Quality health insurance is linked to a healthier life. If you or someone you know needs help navigating the world of health insurance, HealthLink can help. Navigators can assist with enrolling in Marketplace, Medicare, Medicaid, health coverage at no cost to you. HealthLink offers medical, dental, vision, and more.
Foul is called on Maverick Brown as he comes over and picks up his third. And that is only the 4th turnover of the night for the Kingsmen.
Although 3 of those have really come in the last few minutes.
Yeah, remember they only had 1 in the entire first half. Luke Bricker tried to get the step on Bonner. Here's Sullivan now dumping down to Yeager, and he's blocked from behind, but a foul on Brown. That's his 4th.
2 fantastic passes there by Warsaw to set up that shot by Yeager. As you take a look at it, Martin gets it off a great pass from Bricker and then gives it up to Yeager, who can't get it to go, but now to the foul line.
Yeager bounces the first one home. He's a 90% free throw shooter, committed to play basketball at Olivet Nazarene. The 6'8" senior came in averaging 7 a game. He has 5 at this moment. Make it 6, and we're back to a 2-point game.
And those are the first 2 points for Warsaw here in the fourth quarter. And here they are, still within 2.
Hawthorne, McCullough. Hawthorne lost the handle on that one, and that time it was the hustle of Warsaw for the tie-up. They forced the held ball and get the alternating possession.
Floor Coverings International of Michiana salutes the Kingsmen. Whether you're looking for tile, carpet, hardwood, or luxury vinyl, they can help transform your home into your dream home. Visit Michiana.floorcoveringsinternational.com.
Sullivan comes out to high fives from the coaching staff for his hustling effort. Casey Finn will check back in here for Penn to take the place of Trey Miller. Barrett Kuhlman referred to the chess match between these 2 coaches, and the pieces have been moving around the board tonight. Yeager, oh, it goes off the hands. Another Warsaw turnover as McCullough was quick with the steal.
12th of the game for the Tigers. Although it's only their 3rd of the second half, they had 9 in the first 2 quarters of this game.
Bonner will handle it up top for Penn. Oh, he wanted to find Bedient down low. Instead, he found Craig Heatherly. 5 turnovers now for Penn, but 4 here in the last 4 minutes. Finlayson outside. Looking for help, finds it from Brant Martin. He has been quiet here in the second half. Just 2 points for Martin since halftime. Bricker, though, has been lighting it up in the second half. Couldn't get that one, but Yeager is 6'8" and shows it. And a timeout taken by Warsaw. We'll keep it here with 4:31 to go.
First field goal of the fourth quarter for Warsaw ties it up here at 41 as Luke Yeager getting the duty here, the cleanup, showing that size over Bedient, 6'8" over 6'6" for the bucket, and then the timeout.
And Warsaw thrives in these environments. The Tigers, despite their youth, 4-0 on the road this season.
Pretty impressive once again in all those ways for Warsaw. Imagineering Finishing Technologies in South Bend is globally known as the knowledge source for metal finishing solutions like the teams in this game, Imagineering is always working towards a great finish. Thank you, Imagineering, for your continued support of high school sports on TV46.
Reminder, more Big Ten basketball coming your way on 103.1 FM this weekend. Minnesota at Indiana Friday night at 6:30, and then Saturday afternoon at 2:15. Number 1 Purdue takes on Penn State. Your home for Big Ten hoops in Michiana on the radio is Pulse FM. A 41-41 tie with 4:22 to go. Hawthorne guarded by Gould. Hawthorne tried to drive on him. Gould cut him off. That's Bedient down low on the post, banging bodies with Martin. Finn hit a key 3 earlier, but goes to McCullough here. Bricker tried to draw a charge, Sullivan tried to draw a charge, and instead he gave McCullough an easy hoop.
McCullough gets his first point since the first quarter.
Finlinson outside. Trying to spin down Finn, and he got a neck ball, but we also got a foul called on the shot. So it'll be Robbie Finlinson, another terrific free throw shooter on this Warsaw team. They shoot 73% from the line as a team. That's got to be the highest mark in the area.
So they do a lot of things well, right? I mean, they figure out ways to well, they jinx them. Nevertheless, they're not 100% at the free throw line, but they shoot free throws well. They win close games. They win on the road. That's a great combination.
Well, you shoot free throws well, you will win close games, and you will win on the road.
Score big in the real estate game with Ashley Smith at Howard Hanna SB Real Estate, your trusted local realtor for over a decade, helping you find your winning home. Call Ashley Smith at 574-276-7068 today for a free home valuation. And as always, go Kingsmen. I know Ashley Smith cheering on Nolan McCullough tonight, our 46th Student Athlete of the Week.
Trey Miller back in the game for Penn. So Penn with 4 starters and John Bedient on the floor right now. Brown trying to drive on Yeager, and Yeager alters the shot. Might have also got a piece of Brown in the forehead, but it wasn't called. Here's Bricker spinning. Finlinson now looks for help.
Fans wanted to travel. They did not get it as Bricker was able to keep that foot on the floor, according to the refs.
Under 3 minutes to go. Warsaw down 1. Goal to Yeager. That's 10 for the big fella.
And 6 here in the fourth. He's got 6 of Warsaw's 7 points in the fourth as they go up by 1.
And now the Tiger faithful coming to their feet at the Palace. Bonner stop, pop, drop. He has 11. It is what you would expect from these two teams. Tenacious coaches, tenacious players. 3 on the way, good. That's Finlinson burying that one. He has 8. That's his 21st three-pointer of the year. He is a 48% three-point shooter on the year, and nobody covered him up.
Wide open, and he makes him pay with the bucket to put Warsaw back in front. The lead changes are plenty here in the fourth.
2-point margin now for the Tigers. Two minutes to go in regulation. Remember, these two teams play in the same sectional. So it's got a little bit of a March Madness feel to it here at the Palace with 1:55 to go. Back with the exciting conclusion after this on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Tire Rack. TireRack.com is the way tire buying should be.
Tacoma in Warsaw is our fourth quarter sponsor and proud supporters of Tigers Athletics. Tacoma is now hiring CNC machinists. Apply online at tacoma.com. And Bensoft Pretzels have been supporting high school athletics since 2008. They believe that sports are an important part of a well-rounded education, and they're proud to support the next generation of athletes. Find Bensoft Pretzels at the University Park Mall and at most major Notre Dame athletic events. Have a pretzel day.
So a 47-45 lead in favor of Warsaw. The possession arrow goes in favor of Penn. By the way, Warsaw with no fouls here in the fourth quarter. Penn has made 3. So if Penn needs to make some fouls down the stretch and put Warsaw at the line, they could. But remember, we just told you a moment ago, Warsaw a very good free throw shooting team.
And again, it's 5 fouls in the quarter. We'll send you to the free throw line for 2 shots.
So Warsaw can afford to be very aggressive here defending on the perimeter.
Up by 2 here with just over 90 seconds to play.
Maverick Brown outside to Bonner. Finlayson guards him. Bonner over Finlayson for 2. Dominic with 13 tonight. We're knotted at 47.
That was not an easy shot, and he sinks it home.
Gould guarded by Hawthorne. Hawthorne did a dynamite job defending Chase Konechny from St. Joe last Thursday night. Warsaw with Finlayson and a timeout taken by Matt Moore just before the pass was made. We'll keep it here.
The Penn Boosters always cheer for the Kingsmen. Last year, the Boosters awarded over $79,000 to various academic clubs and teams. Support the Penn Boosters by following them on Facebook or go to pennboosters.org.
One more time, we remind you, a busy basketball weekend on TV46. Friday night, we're at the Panther Pit in Napanee. Northridge and Northwood renew that Elkhart County rivalry. We'll have it for you Friday night 11, Saturday morning at 9. Then Saturday, Crossroads League basketball. Number 1 ranked Grace goes into Bethel and takes on Drew Lutz and the Pilots. Lutz, the reigning Crossroads League Player of the Week. We'll have it for you Saturday night at 9 on your home of the Pilots, TV46. Craig Heatherly, let's come to you for a Bills Heating sideline report. Warsaw with the ball, minute left. What do you expect Matt Moore to try to do with this possession?
Yeah, I think you're going to get one of 2 looks here. Look for Luke Bricker to be underneath the basket and get screens and have the option to go to either side of the floor, so to get him on the move, or look for there to be a middle pick and roll. The ball handler at the top of the key, top of the floor, with a ball screener, getting them down to their right hand. They've been running a lot of those 2 actions down the stretch here in the second half.
Luke Yeager not in the game right now, so they don't have the big 6'8" fella to go to. But they do have Bricker and Martin down on the blocks, and it's Martin with the ball here. Bricker is over in the opposite corner of the ball from Meidenberger. Berger double teamed, nearly lost it.
Finally was able to get into the hands of Gould, their point guard.
Anytime Berger gets it, you know he's going to get double teamed, so he's got to get rid of it quickly, and does to Gould.
Well, it looks like Warsaw might be trying to play for the final shot. Penn doesn't exactly want them to be able to have that, and they're bringing the pressure.
Clock, right-hand corner of the TireRack scoreboard. Berger and Gould catch on the outside. That's Brant Martin. Gould, the true point guard of this team. Down to 15 seconds. Bricker hasn't had a touch. They have not gone to that side of the floor. Is that by design? Gould for 3. Wouldn't go. McCullough the rebound. And a timeout quickly taken by Barrett Coolman with 0.2 seconds left. We'll see if any time is put back on the clock.
For a second, it looked like Carson Gould was going to have his second game winner in 2 games, but it just rims off. Wow.
The 3 officials standing at midcourt to talk it over. It's a timeout taken by Penn, a full timeout.
I think there would be a little bit of time to go on the clock, but, well, maybe not.
Remember, there is no replay in high school basketball. They can't go to a monitor and see when the clock should stop. They put a 1/10 of a second back up, so it's 0.3. Penn has 1 timeout remaining. Warsaw has 2.
But it looked like they signaled that
now it's 1.3.
Well, that makes a big difference.
Yeah.
But they did signal that the ball's got to be inbound underneath the basket, so they'll have to go the length of the court.
Which means you could see them try to run the Bryce Drew play.
Just saw someone do that.
I believe it was Belmont the other night in Indiana that ran it for a game winner. And if you're not familiar, that's a pass to about the top of the key on the opposite end. The person who catches it has their back to the basket and laterals it to a trailer, similar to a hook and ladder in football. And the trailer tries to step up and hit a 3-point shot, as Bryce Drew did for Valparaiso in an NCAA tournament long before any of these guys on the floor were born.
I was in 11th grade and went to the student TV station and watched that play, skipping my 11th period class.
So McCullough, the long pass, Bonner, the catch, the shot, it's no good, and we'll go to overtime at the Palace. Oh, you can't say the last few seconds of this one weren't entertaining. Shoot, the whole 32 minutes were, so we might as well play an extra 4. Here's one more look at it. Bonner had a clean look, but it wouldn't go. 47-47. Overtime is next on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Raising Cane's. Craveable chicken finger meals, one love. Well, instead of your fingernails, maybe those chicken fingers are what you have to nibble on the rest of this game, because no fingernails left with this one going to overtime, tied at 47.
Well, each team had a good shot, a good opportunity. Neither one was an easy shot, but at least a good, clean look. Neither one went down, and here we are headed to overtime. Wow.
Luke Yeager back in the game for Warsaw. Will jump it up against Dominic Bonner.
Yeager with 12 points here tonight for Warsaw. Had 6 big points. Their first 6 points of the fourth quarter. First 6 of 7 for Warsaw in that fourth quarter.
It's a 4-minute overtime in high school basketball. Half of a normal quarter.
It's very quiet in the gym. The nerves are plenty for everyone in this building right now.
Grant Martin muscles up a 2, and I mean muscled it. He brought that one from the holster, and he has 14. That leads the Tigers tonight, who have 3 players in double figures. Backdoor pass, Bonner lays it in. He's been the offensive star for the Kingsmen with 15. Bricker has to come way outside to get the pass. A skidding move over there by Martin, who needs help. And timeout taken by Warsaw. They had a couple to take, and they'll use one here to keep the possession alive.
And you mentioned Bonner having 15. He had no points in the first quarter, only 2 at the half. He's really done most of his work in the second half and here in overtime to tie this game up now at 49 with exactly 3 minutes to play here in OT.
Interesting down the stretch, and this stands to reason as legs get tired. You use the 3-point shot a little bit less, but both of these teams are really good from beyond the arc. Warsaw shoots 41% from 3-point range for the season. Penn shoots 40. Craig, though, the numbers have been down tonight because of dynamite defense on both ends of the floor. Go to Craig Heatherly for a Bills Heating sideline report.
Yeah, Chuck, you're exactly right. Well, the reason why there's not a high volume of threes is because both teams are doing an incredible job with the scouting report and arriving on the catch, meaning when the ball comes to the player, there's a defender right there taking away that jump shot, or the initial jump shot. I do want to shine a light on what Dominic Bonner's doing defensively on Luke. I mean, he is limiting him here down the stretch of the second half and into overtime.
Bricker had that strong third quarter. They shifted Bonner onto him. He's really been shut down since then. Good point, Craig. 49 all, 3 minutes left. Warsaw with the possession, and the arrow goes to Penn.
I'm just smiling. This is a great game.
Best one we've had on 46 so far this year.
Country mile. Unfortunately, we've had.
I was going to say, to be honest, folks, not a lot of competition.
It's been quite a bit of blowouts on 46 this year. Glad we could get a good one here.
Here's Brant Martin strong to the hole with the right hand. He's got all 4 points in the overtime for the Tigers. 16 for Martin tonight. Maverick Brown. Oh, there's Bonner again, working against Martin. And Bonner with the right hand will wind up going to the foul line after Martin got a little too chesty. So Dominic Bonner goes to the stripe. He is a 62% free throw shooter on the year as you get another look on the 46 Sports replay. And Barrett Coolman made a point with his team last night at practice. They've got to get better at the foul line. 16 points for Bonner tonight. On the year, Penn shoots 68% from the line. Not shabby, but boy, that mark has been down in recent games. Bonner, though, drains them both.
That'll make Barrett Coolman feel good in terms of critical free throws at the right time there as Penn gets both of them. Tie it up at 51 with 2:10 to play.
Here's Finlinson. Down low to Yeager, couldn't hang on to the ball, and the Kingsmen now have a chance to take the lead with 2 minutes left.
That area that Penn has dominated, forcing turnovers. Warsaw has had double digits in turnovers here tonight, adding another one there.
Brown trying to drive on Yeager, and Yeager was able to alter that shot.
That's probably one that Penn would like to have back. It was just too high level of difficulty for Brown on that one.
Martin, he's been money in the overtime.
Good defense there by Nolan McCullough.
Under 90 seconds to go. Here's Carson Gould. Had the game winner on Friday night against Northridge. Finlinson for 3. Front iron no good, but Bricker a key offensive rebound, and his 3 is money. 16 for Bricker. Tigers with their biggest lead of the second half. 3 points. Less than a minute to go.
Plenty of time for Penn. They don't have to go for a 3.
And I think Barrett Coolman wants timeout here with 51.5 to go.
He probably wants to talk that over with his guys, right? And make sure they realize with this much time, you can go for a 2. Doesn't mean you can't take a 3, but take a look at this. That extra effort from Bricker, gets the rebound, passes it off, gets it back, and drains the trifecta.
Timeouts remaining. Warsaw has 2. Penn has 1. As you look at Al Rhodes, he's not bored. He's been through this over 1,000 times as a head coach in his career.
693 wins, 320 losses in 42 seasons, 37 of which have been at either Warsaw or Penn. Also had time at Northrop and Logansport.
The thing for Al is not only is somebody that he helped mentor going to win this game, the thing that's killing him is somebody he helped mentor is going to lose this game. And when it comes to those kind of relationships, we were talking with Barrett Coolman before the game, it's agony for the mentor. The mentor would almost rather not be here. But he loves the guys he coaches and wants to spend time around.
Let's see what Barrett Coolman drew up there in the huddle.
Trey Miller, best three-point shooter on the team. Maverick Brown outside.
Miller hasn't scored in the second half.
Bonner has had the hot hand. Brown, will he hoist the three? Oh, he thought about it. Now it's getting down to the time where Penn's gonna have to take a three. Bonner trying to back his man down. Right hand shot is good. He has 19. It's a 1-point game with 19 seconds left. Penn has only committed 3 fouls, so they're going to have to make a couple of fouls to get Warsaw to the line. Of course, that also means you can be aggressive overplaying and maybe get the steal.
Yeah, I mean, I think on this inbound, you can be super aggressive, and it doesn't hurt you in any way if you foul pretty much immediately and then force them into another inbounds, and then maybe they're going to the free throw line with 16 seconds left. And hopefully they only make 1 or 2, and even if they make 2, you still have a chance to tie it up.
Craig Heatherly, let's rely on your expertise here as a former coach. How much time do coaches spend on inbounds plays?
Quite a bit, but not at the end of the game. You know, they spend a lot of time drawing up plays underneath the basket, on the sideline, but not in pressure situations. And, you know, the great coaches, which, I mean, we're witnessing 2 fantastic coaches, do work on pressure situations because they know they'll be in this. And the ability to fake a pass, to make a pass, and to meet the pass, it's critical in a situation like this.
Remember, Warsaw with a perfect road record. They're 4-0 this year on the road. They have 7 of their 9 games have been decided by 6 points or less. They're 7-2 on the year, trying to get their 8th win of the season if they can hang on to a 1-point lead with 19.2 seconds left. Bedient, the big 6'6" fellow for Penn, will guard the inbound. But Gould can run the baseline, does, and it's knocked out of bounds by Casey Finn. Finlinson wanted a foul for Warsaw.
And Finn was hoping they were going to call it out on Finlinson. It was very, very close, right in front of us.
This is tougher because Gould cannot run the end line here. He's on the sideline.
Only 2 seconds went off the clock.
They inbounded to Brant Martin, who gets away from a couple people, and Hawthorne fouls him from behind because, well, he had to with 14.7 left.
Martin, a 68% free throw shooter, so really, he's probably one of the, oh, still not
there. They got to have one more foul.
Oh, that's right. They did not call that foul on Finn. That would actually work to Penn's disadvantage.
Now who can Gould trigger the inbound to? It's Bricker, and he gets held from behind by Casey Finn. Bricker, a 79% free throw shooter, so the odds just went up.
13.8 seconds remaining here. So Penn will have a good amount of time after the free throws to try to get another shot in. 1-point lead here for Warsaw.
Bricker with 16 tonight, make it 17. And remember, folks, these are no longer 1 in the bonus. These are 2-shot fouls beginning this year. Luke Yeager coming into the back into the lineup. So Luke Bricker came in averaging 18 points a game. His 10th game in double figures, 3.94 GPA. His sister Jocelyn, a standout on the girls team. And he drained them both, 3-point game. And now the question is, Craig, if you're Warsaw, how much time do you spend fouling here so that Penn can't get off a 3-point shot?
Yeah, you want to talk about those scenarios when it's, you know, under 5 seconds. Right now, you're just going to play defense, keep the ball in front, make sure you don't let Miller get a catch here.
It's Brown outside with Yeager all over him.
Need a 3.
Brown's got to get rid of it. There's Bonner, and Bonner is fouled smartly by Carson Gould.
And only 2.7 seconds remaining here.
So Penn has to find almost a catch-and-shoot 3. You could make one dribble, but
you're risking them fouling you on a dribble, although Warsaw doesn't want to foul and potentially give you 3 free throws either, so they got to be careful.
Well, it wouldn't be 3 free throws.
Well,
yeah, on a shot. You're right.
Yeah. I mean, I would think Penn's going to inbound for a 3.
It's Bonner from the logo. Off the front iron, no good, and Warsaw is now 5-0 on the road. They win another cliffhanger. This one in overtime over Penn, 56-53, and don't be surprised if it's very similar if these two teams happen to meet in March. What a ball game. We've got a lot to talk about on our St. Joe Valley County Police Department post-game show with our electrifying play of the game, and it's next on 46.
All right, post-game interview here with Coach Moore and Lou. Coach, tell us about the game.
We got good players, man. Talk to this one. He's a good one.
Luke, what a game, man. I mean, before I get into it, just tell me your thoughts after going into a game like that, going into overtime, it being back and forth so much. What was running through your mind?
Yeah, they're a good team. It took everything for us to win, and I'm just proud of our guys.
Offensively, you do an incredible job moving without the basketball. Your footwork inside the paint. Talk to us about just the work that you put into your game and how it allows you to play like that.
Yeah, just a lot of time. My dad built a beautiful barn for us to shoot in, so yeah, just lots of work to get better.
You guys came into the game, and then actually after the second half there too, you executed the game plan almost flawlessly, it seemed. Bonner got going a little bit there in the second half. But tell us about the trust that you guys have in Coach Moore.
Yeah, we have all the trust in the world in Coach Moore. I mean, we know he has our backs and he'll do anything for us, so he's a great guy.
Awesome. Well, good luck with the rest of the season. Chuck, back to you. Yeah, I mean,
Thanks for watching the WHME TV46 High School Basketball Game of the Week, brought to you by
Grit and guts were on display on both sides tonight, but it's Warsaw who outlasts Penn in overtime, 56-53. The Tigers now 8-2 on the year and undefeated on the road. Welcome up above the fray, Chuck Freeby and Angelo DiCarlo with us. And what a spectacular basketball game. Obviously, execution at times was a little bit sloppy, particularly by Warsaw, that was bedeviled by turnover problems. But great defense, some clutch shooting, everything you'd want in a high school basketball game.
Well, it's one of those games that the coaches have a lot of positives they can look at, and then they have the stuff they can work on to get better for sectionals when these two teams very much could meet again. But what a game indeed, and we were happy to have it because we've been missing the good games, and we got one here to show you, and it was an excellent game. And if these two teams do play again in sectionals, I expect that one to be a really good one as well.
Clutch performers on both sides, but the guy that came through big in the overtime for the Tigers is Luke Bricker, standing by now along with his coach Matt Moore and Craig Heatherly.
All right, post-game interview here with Coach Moore and Luke. Coach, tell us about the game.
We got good players, man. Talk to this one. He's a good one.
Luke, what a game, man. I mean, before I get into it, just tell me your thoughts after going into a game like that, going into overtime, it being back and forth so much. What was running through your mind?
Yeah, they're a good team. It took everything for us to win, and I'm just proud of our guys.
Offensively, you do an incredible job moving without the basketball. Your footwork inside the paint. Talk to us about just the work that you put into your game and how it allows you to play like that.
Yeah, just a lot of time. My dad built a beautiful barn for us to shoot in, so yeah, just lots of work to get better.
You guys came into the game, and then actually after the second half there too, you executed the game plan almost flawlessly, it seemed. Bonner got going a little bit there in the second half. But tell us about the trust that you guys have in Coach Moore.
Yeah, we have all the trust in the world in Coach Moore. I mean, we know he has our backs and he'll do anything for us, so he's a great guy.
Awesome. Well, good luck with the rest of the season. Chuck, back to you.
Thank you, Craig. Luke Bricker, our Raising Canes player of the game. He had more than one love tonight. He had 18 points to love and a lot of great effort from his teammates as well. Brant Martin, Luke Yeager with nice games as well. And boy, Matt Moore with a little Jim Harbaugh tribute there.
Hey, Jim Harbaugh wins a national championship, and he channels him a little bit. Talk to this guy. Talk to this guy. The only night that Jim Harbaugh didn't do that was after winning the national championship on Monday night. But Matt Moore doing a great job with his squad, and here they are at 8-2 with, again, 4 underclassmen starting a very good basketball team.
Our electrifying play of the game came from the guy that probably would have been the player of the game had Penn won, and that's Dominic Bonner, who had a big steal and stuff late in the first half for our IBEW Electrical Workers play of the game.
Yeah, it was actually his only points of the first half. It was one of the many steals Penn had in the game. He was great throughout the game. In fact, had 6 points in overtime. Really had an excellent game. But this one was a turning point early on during a 10-0 run for Penn that gave him the lead at the half. But unfortunately for Dominic Bonner, just not enough in the end to get the victory here in OT.
Bonner closed with 19 points, but the Kingsmen lose their second in a row. They're 7-3. And again, you can't say enough about the job Barrett Kuhlman has done. Remember, Penn has absolutely no starters returning from last year. A lot of guys playing in different roles. The fact that they're 7-3 midway through the season, I think, surprises a lot of people. But the Kingsmen are smarting after those 2 losses. You don't want to be next in line.
Yeah, and they're 2 losses that, again, they're going to learn from, and this is something that's going to make them better for that first week of March when it really matters, right? They didn't have any experience coming into this year. They're gaining their experience right now. This is help prepare them for six weeks from now.
And Warsaw has to take on Goshen in the Northern Lakes Conference. We saw the Red Hawks earlier this year. They're no easy one. In fact, here's the one thing you know. If you're going to a Warsaw game, it's likely going to be close.
Well, and the other thing is that game's going to a battle of big guys inside with Ryan Etheridge from Goshen going up against Luke Yeager from Warsaw. So that should be a great battle of 6'8 guys.
And we've got a good one coming up on Friday night, too. But our thanks to our TV46 crew for braving the elements and putting this one together, led by our production manager, Dean Korsmo. Killer Kowalski working as well tonight with Tony Beltran on all the bells and dials. A reminder, Big Ten basketball Friday night on the radio on 103.1 FM. It's Indiana and Minnesota at 6:30. And then Friday night on TV46, Northern Lakes Conference basketball. The Northridge Raiders visit the 10th-ranked Northwood Panthers. We'll have it for you from the pit Friday night 11 and Saturday morning at 9. Now, for my broadcast partners, Angelo DiCarlo and Craig Heatherly, it's Chuck Freeby. Once again, the final. Warsaw in overtime prevails over Penn 56-53. So long from the banks of the mighty St. Joe.